The time has come to finally get the 2023 season of gardening that is underway, and it starts right here with this episode. Let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are in the house. It's a little bit warmer, but before we get started with this gardening plan, I want to thank every one of you for clicking on this upload. So, the gardening season for 2023 is here as we know it. It's the middle of January, and believe it or not, for most of us, it is time to finally start getting the plan together. This is what I call the plan. This is what I do normally in the middle of January. Is tip number one of one of the first things I do to get my plan rolling is I do a full inventory of every single thing that I'm going to need, whether it's pots, seed starting trays, seed starting mix, everything that has to do with the seed starting is one of the very first things I do. It's very important to know if I'm going to need to replace some things. If I have some things, I also check to make sure that all my grow lights are working properly, and I try to make sure that all my heat mats are working properly. So this way, when it comes time to actually start the seeds, I'm not like, oh, I need this, or I need that, or I need this. So that's step number one of getting the plan together. Step number two is I think about what do I really want to grow in my backyard. Like for instance, I've decided I always grow corn every year, and I've decided that for 2023 I'm not gonna grow sweet corn, simply because the amount of corn that I grow and the space and the water and the fertilizer it takes to grow 40 50 stalks of corn, there's no real payoff for me, because I can go to my local farm stand down the street and I can buy 2 ears of corn for $1. So so it doesn't make sense for me to grow corn anymore in 2023, so I won't do it. So step two is really think about what you want to grow to eat. That's the one thing that I do. The other thing that I also do to put my plan together is where I'm going to be growing my vegetables. I grow in raised beds. I grow in pots. I don't necessarily like growing on the ground, simply because I don't have the right property, let's say, to grow in ground. So I prefer raised beds because I have a lot more control over what goes into that raised bed. And watering purposes, it's so much more efficient than watering on the ground and all that stuff, because I find that when you grow on the ground, unless you have drip irrigation properly set up, then you're basically, if you're going around with a hose just watering on the ground, you're going to find that you're wasting a lot of water, because a lot of that stuff was just going to run off. And a lot of times you can be underwatering, thinking that, oh yeah, water is running all over the place, I watered enough, and chances are you probably didn't. So that's why I choose is the raised beds that I grow in. So those are the three main things that I do in order to get the plan going. Now this is just a little introduction of what videos I'm going to be making that are coming up, because once I get the plan and I already have, there's a couple things I need. I need for instance, I thought I had seed starting mix, Well, the seed starting mix, I do have a bag, but when I opened it and looked at it, it's moldy. It's just been sitting there too long. It's all moldy. I'm going to try to salvage as much of it as possible, but most likely I need some new, fresh seed starting mix. So that already eliminates, seed starting, a week and a half from now, maybe perhaps 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. Definitely check out your inventory. So once again, I want to thank you guys for clicking on this upload. And in about a week, next week sometime, I'm going to show you the next step that I do to finally get the seeds starting. And the best way for you to follow along with that is right down there somewhere. There's a little notification bell that you can click on that. It'll notify you when I upload the next video. And if you don't see it down there, tap that subscribe button and it should show up there somewhere. And then click that notification bell and you'll be notified when I upload the next video. Because the next video, I think you might find interesting of exactly what I do for the next step. So, guys, get out there and do your inventory and get the stuff now while it's still a little cheaper, because when it comes around, if you wait until March, April, the prices of all of this stuff I'm talking about, the pots, the seed starting pots, seed starting mix, it's all going to go up even more in price than it already has. So get it now and you'll save yourself a few bucks. All right, guys. Till next time, you all stay safe. Bella, you behave. Don't you be like Phoebe. That's right, good girl. You behave. We don't, no redneck dogs around here.